it's Veronica Curran, nurse practitioner with Remember Health. I am making a video today to call bullshit on perimenopause. Now, before you all get too excited about this, because I know we all love to blame all our problems over the age of 35 on perimenopause, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, okay? Stay calm and bear with me. The thing I don't like about the perimenopausal net that we throw on everything for any woman nearing 40 or past 40 is that it really kind of takes away the individuality of what a woman is going through. And it also doesn't consider a lot of factors that that cause symptoms that get kind of grouped as perimenopausal symptoms. Okay, so I'm calling bullshit. I'm gonna tell you what I think is really going on with women. So I just want to start by saying that I do not believe that whatever you believe made humanity and nature. It's so perfectly designed, right? So here is a woman's life where she spends the first half of her life really discovering who she is. And if she chooses to have children, right? Having children, building a career, whatever it is, right? Really for like other people. And then she comes into her own. If she's a mother, her children are becoming more independent. And then boom, perimenopause hits, right? And we're just supposed to be fat and miserable. And that's the way nature designed it, right? I'm just not buying it, okay? I don't think that whoever or whatever made us meant for us to be miserable for the second half of our lives. I really think it's due to a lot of modern day factors. First, I think that the nature of society is very high stress, especially for women. Okay, we live very fragmented lives where we have to go somewhere to work out. We wake up either early or late, not aligned with our circadian rhythms. We drive places. We don't move. We live in high stress situations. If you're a mother, your children are dependent on you for all of their needs. You often don't get a break from other people needing you, whether it be at work, whether it be your kids, right? So we live a really high stress life. And I always reference the natural state of the human as the hunter and gatherer stage. And I've said this before, I'm not saying I want to go back to hunting and gathering and like living in the woods. I love heat, I love hot showers, but what I am saying is that's the natural state of the human, right? People lived in community. People helped each other. Children did things with their parents, right? But they also went off with other people in the community and did other things, or they played with other kids. Now everybody's so scheduled out, you have to make a play date for our kids to hang out with other kids, right? So I think modern day society really breeds stress. And what does stress do to our hormones, which is what we're blaming perimenopause for, right? The shift in our hormones. When you are stressed, your hormones can get out of whack. So when a client comes to me with irregular periods, the number one thing I ask is, what's your stress level like, right? And if you're a modern day person, it's probably pretty high. When the body is stressed, it uses the precursor molecules that make progesterone, testosterone, right? And it makes cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. You cannot live without cortisol. You can live with low levels of hormones. Number one factor is stress. Number two factor, toxins, okay? This is why I'm always promoting detox. We live in a modern world where there are so many toxins in our food, air, and water. When things are wrapped in plastic, plastics are chemicals that actually bind to our hormone receptors. So if plastics are binding to your hormone receptors, then where are your hormones going, right? I know people think it's bougie to eat organic, and I totally understand that it is expensive to eat organic, okay? But I call it an investment on the front end. Do you want to invest in your health on the front end, or do you want to invest in your health and hospital bills? When we're eating food laden with glyphosate, which is like the most commonly used pesticide in America, we are eating chemicals that are like toxic to our body in general, but they also bind to our hormone receptors, okay? And they also love the thyroid. How many women think they have thyroid issues? How many women do have thyroid issues? How many men have thyroid issues, right? So we need to think about these toxins, okay? And these are the things that like people are blaming perimenopause on. We're also, our bodies are changing in perimenopause, right? Our bodies are changing in the stage of life. Maybe we can't eat, ice cream at 10 p.m. with a Netflix show, okay? Maybe our body can't do that anymore. Maybe we need to stop eating after dinner. Maybe we could always do that in our 20s, maybe even our 30s, but now we can't. There are things that have to change. Your body is changing. You're going to have to change. But it's not just like impossible with perimenopause. So the other thing I think like we really have to be real with, myself included, again, I'm never preaching from the pulpit. I'm always preaching from like my own situation too, right? But like be informed. If you're not moving your body a lot, you're eating sugar late at night, even if it's like fruit, okay? We're not having periods of fasting where our body gets to rest. If you're eating processed foods, okay, these are all things that are going to affect your metabolism and affect your perimenopausal belly, okay? I've got one too. I'm working on it too. I'm not saying hormones don't change in this stage of life. Hormones change. I'm not saying that perimenopause isn't a thing, although I'm not into labels really in healthcare. I don't really love diagnoses because I feel like a lot of things get brought into one diagnosis and then we live by the diagnosis, right? I like to look at symptoms and really treat the root cause of the symptoms, okay? But we want to say perimenopause exists, fine, it exists. But I'm saying let's look at the modern day factors that are really causing these perimenopausal symptoms that are all being grouped together and just like, yeah, sorry, you're getting older. So if you want to heal your perimenopausal symptoms and thrive in middle age, the first time you get to have a little breathing room to do something for yourself, why don't you call me?